Welcome back, y'all. It is the Drunk Capitalist here, and I'm back with some more news. This time, we're going to talk about student loans. So, I just had a recent video about student loans, about a high earner who, had a lot of student loan debt and he is struggling to get through that. You guys can watch that last video, but this one's a little bit different. I've been wanting to do a student loan video for a while now, but I just didn't really know how to go about talking about it because I have some very radical ideas maybe. And just in general, it's such a heavy topic and it's so random, to be honest, that I'm just like, what is happening? What are we doing? What is going through people's mind really? What's really going through the government's mind? And that's what I want to talk about here today, because my exact fear is starting to come true as we speak. I've always feared that this is gonna be the back and forth situation that we're gonna have once they delay the student loans to begin with. Now, Biden is in a tough spot, but I'm also not surprised as to what's going on right now. It feels, the student loan forgiveness feels a lot like a reparations talk. It does. It's very reminiscent of reparations, where they said they was gonna give it to you and then things just keep coming in the way of them giving it to you, but then they start giving it to other people, but just not to you. Yeah, I'm just saying, it's real familiar to me, as a standard. But let's just get right into this news article that came out today. Now, the White House may delay payments yet again as it weighs debt forgiveness. So, White House Chief of Staff Ron Klein said a decision on whether to forgive student debt through executive action will be made before the payments resume. The president is going to look at what we should do on student debt before the pause expires, or he'll extend the pause, Klein said on a recent podcast. Let's just read that sentence one more time, just so we have clarification. The president is going to look at what we should do on student debt before the pause expires, which it expires in May, or he'll extend the pause. Those are the only two options. Outside of just saying, we're going to do exactly what we said and we're going to forgive it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm an advocate of student loan forgiveness or anything like that. Personally, I would love if my student loans were forgiven. Of course I would. I would love to get rid of thousands of dollars worth of debt. But I understand the American economic system. I understand that this is a country built on our debt. Do we all understand that? This is probably not going to be forgiven. All of the cases in which they forgive student loan debt in the recent few months, it's all been extreme cases. You can't use your legs, or you can't go to work, or you went to DeVry. That's very particular cases. It's just not for the average American who went to a average or above average school, a legitimate school, accredited university. It's just not for us. It's just for the other people. And then they'll have this excuse to say, well, we did forgive it for them, but not for you. We never really said it was for you, right? President Joe Biden made no mention of student loan forgiveness at his State of the Union address on Tuesday, yet a spokesperson for the administration says cancellation remains on the table. Yeah. You know what else remains on the table? Salt and pepper. But that doesn't mean you actually take it off the table. Sometimes you just mention it every now and again. It gets thrown in there if it wasn't enough in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of just leave it on the table. And I feel like this is their mode of operation, where they're just going to leave it on the table. And that's kind of scary for most of us. Especially the people that don't have a plan. And I feel like that gets me to my next point. There's different types of people when it comes to the whole student loan debt situation, right? We all experienced a pause. We all wanted and probably needed that pause when the crisis situation hit. But there's different type of people in this world. There's people that did not have an issue paying for it, but they received the pause because everyone received it. So they continued paying for it. And they're like, well, this is better because now there's no interest. So I'm going to continue paying for it because I'm not going to wait for the government to do it. Then there's the people that's like, well, I can pay it, but it's on pause. So I'm not going to pay it, but I'm going to put some money to the side. So when it resumes, I can still pay it. Or I will put that money into stocks and let that money grow instead of just giving it away. I'm gonna let that money work before the pause is ended. Then there's the people that's like, oh, I can pay it, but they said there's a pause, so I'm not gonna pay it. I'm gonna just spend that money doing things I want to do, and when it resumes, we'll see what happens. Like, and then of course there's your outlier that we're expecting, which is people that got the pause, they really needed the pause, and they don't really have a plan on how to pay it afterwards because their financial situation may not be fixed in the past few years of this crisis. Those are the people that we have to worry about. But for the rest of us who can't afford to pay for it, it's like, we just don't want to end up looking stupid. We don't want to end up with egg in our face like, yo, I paid it in April, and then May he said, you know what, we forgive it. But I also don't think it's gonna happen. I personally don't think it's gonna happen, so I am not putting any of my eggs in that basket personally, because here's the other side of things which I want y'all to pay attention to. I want y'all to pay attention to this part. It's really, really important, like, facet of this whole situation. Because remember I told you, like, this is a debt type of economy. Like, this entire, like, American system operates on debt. Like, we have so much debt. Like, it's what keeps it going. Us paying interest, you know, paying it forward is what kind of keeps things going. So I just want to present to you and give you guys, like, an idea of, like, all the inflation that's happening and why forgiving student loans is gonna make things worse. And that's probably why it's not gonna happen. So obviously, like, when they create money, because that's the only way you're going to get this paid off, is if they create money out of thin air, it's going to cause inflation because there's trillions of dollars being added. We've already seen it. We just saw it. Now throw another couple trillion in there. Like, we're going to have double the problems, right? But if you really think about it, right now we're seeing, like, home prices and car prices skyrocketing. That's, like, the biggest purchases. That's some of the purchases that keeps the system moving, right? House prices are skyrocketing. Interest rates are all over the place right now. But if you really think about it, when it comes to these purchases, right? One of the biggest factors in your credit when it comes to these purchases is your debt to income ratio, right? Now, if you hold on to that student loan debt and they just extend the pause into oblivion, like, they just keep extending the pause, whatever, a lot of people that aren't paying it will just carry that loan on them. And that will keep their debt to income ratio higher, which when they apply for things, right, they'll have good credit standing, but they'll end up with a higher interest rate, right? They love paying it forward with that interest rate. I'm telling you, this all works on debt. But it changes what you can qualify for, and it also increases your interest rate. And I think that's the main point at this time and space, is like, you have people that owe upwards of $50,000, $60,000 in student loan debt wanting to buy homes because they're turning 30, they're hitting 35, they're probably 40. 40 is a long time, maybe 30s. But, like, that's what we're facing right now, is that they're going to be able to heighten the interest rates just off the fact that we have high debt to income ratio, and most people aren't going to just pay off that loan and lower that DTI in order to capture that lower interest rate with their good credit score. Like, most people are going to try to make use of that cash as much as they can, but that might end up, you know, biting them in the future. Like, they may or may not recognize it. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen videos before. I'm like, if you watch my finance channel, then you've probably seen other finance channels where they break down how a home that costs less but with a higher interest rate, you will probably on a 30-year mortgage pay more over time at the end of that loan than if you bought a more expensive house at a lower interest rate. So I just, with this channel, I just really want to like point out all the little like nuances that I kind of think about, because whenever it comes to like financial topics, I really do think about it in like a layered sense. Like I'm trying to connect dots and trying to make like the right decisions. So I definitely want to get into in the future my student loan situation and really just put it out there for y'all and just show y'all like, this is what I'm working with and this is what I'm working on. I have been paying on my student loans because I have to. Like, one of the other nuances is that not everyone has a federal student loan. Some people have private student loans. I don't technically have a private student loan, but I do have Perkins loans and I have federal loans. The federal loans of mine are on pause, but my Perkins loans are not on pause. And if I was to defer those Perkins loans, they actually still accrue interest. So no, I'm not doing that. We don't like interest over here. That's bad for business. Like, seriously, like interest is scary. Interest plus high interest plus inflation is like, it's like a hole in the bottom of a cup and you just trying to drink, but the hole is so big. It's as big as the spout, right? It's like you can't win for losing. Like, so I feel like there's a lot of things we got to pay attention to. So back to the article. Some Democrats, advocates, and borrowers have been frustrated that Biden has made little to no mention of loan cancellation since he's been in office. On the campaign trail, he promised to quickly cancel $10,000 per borrower. That's his problem. He said he was going to cancel it and he didn't cancel it. I mean, he is yet to cancel. Let's say that. He is yet to cancel it. It's been over a year since he's been in office. He literally campaigned on it. He screwed up. I'm put it out there. He effed up. He's like, you're done for. Like, if you keep letting this go all the way till the next election cycle, you understand Biden, you're gonna have to close that door behind you. Like, you're not coming back to the White House. We're not letting you back in there after blatantly lying to our face. Now, understand, a lot of people that voted for him, it was a lot of wishful thinking, and then on the other hand, we had another president that a lot of people did not like. He obviously did not win the popular vote. So we did not like this man per se, the orange one. So we voted Biden. Not sure how Biden even became the Democratic Party leader or the elect or whatever. Not sure how that happened, because I sure did not choose him, because this man was exactly how he is now. Lackadaisical, airy, old. I don't got nothing to go against old people, but like, old is not good for office a lot of times, because he just, it was cool when Obama's cadence was slow, because that's just his, that's part of his charisma. But like, Biden is slow because he's old. Like, and it's like, get it out. And then it's like him skipping over things like that in the State of the Union, not talking about student loans because he has, the Ukraine situation, and just like, it's just feeling like reparations all over again, guys. I'm telling you, it's giving me deja vu. Mind you, reparation fight is not over. We still in here. But, they released this memo. First of all, I know the memo already came out, so I don't even know why this article is making it seem like the memo wasn't already published, like, since like last August. Like, it took forever. It was supposed to be like done by like end of June or something like that. It came out like more around August, and it's just not. And then, okay, now we got this is like, progressives and advocates say the student loan debt crisis has caused the most pain for women, people of color, and those who didn't come from wealthy families who could foot the rising cost of a college education. And it's true. It's going to affect the people the most that needed to take out debt in order to pay for college, because they were told that college is the only way you can get a job so you can pay for anything in your life. Like, that was the setup of the entire situation. So it's not surprising that the people who have the least are the ones that are going to suffer the most. Women are just now getting their footing, well, our footing in this economy, like getting jobs, careers, education. Like it really has not been that long. So we've just started. A lot of us don't have parents that wanted us to go to school or could afford to send both children to go to school, so they wanted to send the male child to go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, and they put their funds in behind their male children and not their girls. And it's like, this is what you expect. People of color, a lot of people are immigrants, a lot of people are come from poverty, and they don't have the money, so they have to borrow. And of course there is grants and FAFSA, but with the rising cost of actual education, you're still gonna have to pay. And I'm definitely gonna make a video breaking down my college situation, my student loan situation, and really show you guys what's up. And yeah, thank you guys for watching though. This is the Drunk Capitalist. I'll see you guys next time. Pay those loans. Ain't nobody coming to save you. I'm telling you right now, nobody's coming to save you. And if they coming to save you, it's gonna be too late. Mark my words, it's gonna be way too late. Peace.